Hello, dear viewer. Welcome back to Shapes 2. Or rather, possibly Shapes 2, Trains 2. The Traininator. The training. Yeah, trains. Lots of trains. More train stuff. Let's do some more trains. I did a bit of a hash last time, didn't I, explaining trains. This is the problem sometimes of me doing things blind, is that it's bloody obvious because I'm still trying to work out what I'm doing. I'm not looking at videos properly that are trying to help me, but I think I've got the hang of it now. So I thought what we could do quickly in this episode, without taking too long, is to do some more of the milestones up here, but then show how I'm using the trains, which I'm kind of demonstrating here, but we'll expand upon in a moment. So we're going to focus on this milestone here. So we need to make this one. Now we're already making this part with some god-awful mess up here, but at a certain point it's not worth changing it. Basically, I'm taking little bits of each of various different shapes to assemble them together. You know what? It's working, and if it's working, you know what you do. You don't break it as far as that goes. But we can do one thing, which is that we can deliver things a bit more quickly. So one of the ways I've found that's good for in dealing with using how to use trains is to. Are you not doing anything? Oh, it's something else entirely. That is something else entirely. Let's not worry about it. Ignore it. It's not happening. Nothing to do with us. Use the train over here. So I thought about templates for trains for stations, but I'm not going to worry about it because they vary too much on some of these things. The most important thing here really is that we're going to load this slot onto here, and therefore we're going to make a track which is going to go that way, like that. Okay, that's what we're going to do. And as we know, we want to load stuff onto the train at one particular point. So we can load all this onto here, and we'll probably use depends how fast this is going. It's not producing these very quickly. There's some sort of blockage over here we should probably try and fix. Excuse me, it's because of how that. Why is my throat to dry today? I don't know. I've not even started yammering. Appears to be going quite slowly, so we'll just use one carriage for the output of all of this lot. Yeah, all of this slot here is going to go out on one train. If it was a lot more than that, I'd use a couple, but there you go. So we're going to use, we need one train stop, like that, in line. We need one shape loader, and of course I'd forgotten about mirroring. So this is the useful thing to make sure that you are, you've got your thing around the right way, and it's feeding into the right direction. So we're going to do that from here. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a single train, a single locomotive, one choo-choo, one shape wagon, like I said, only one needed, and we're just going to feed, let's go back to this shape here, we're just going to feed into there like that, and at the moment this lot's feeding up to here, so we'll get rid of that, and we'll go that way instead. That way please. I hate it when there's a piece that isn't needed. Is that going to be useful? Like that, there we go. Here comes the train. So now what is happening is that these are all coming out on the base level, yeah, the initial level of the game, not the upper level or the level above that, which I haven't unlocked yet, but the base level. So they fill up here. If they're coming out on the second level, they fill up here. If they're coming out on the third level, they fill up here. But the train doesn't care. The train has got 3 carriages. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 at each height to catch them. And when you're ready, if you watch the little doors here, little gates here. Oh, it didn't do it that time. It didn't do it because there's nothing ready yet. What happens is this fills up. This little thing fills up as the stuff products feed into it. And when it's enough, when this bar is full, a package goes along to here, and the train carries that package. Therefore, the train is literally carrying packets of goods at a time. This is a plus and a minus as far as I'm concerned, because these belts here, I know they're slower, but even if you've got a slow production of some item, like this here, it gets there eventually. Once the belt, if the belt is going to the right place, once the contents of the belt, there's a delay time in the items getting to the belt, if it's the end of the belt, if it's a long belt. But once they're there, you've got a fairly continuous supply, unless your production goes wrong. You've got a fairly continuous trickle. Trains don't work like that. They're delivering packages of data, and therefore there's a sudden burst of product coming out of the other end, and it's just delivered in a different way. In the end, I guess the result is the same, but there you go. The other thing is you can't you can't load up more items, different items in here. If I've got like a grey version of this thing here, or one that's like the one here, or a rotated version, it won't fill up. This is one item per package. So if you want to do that, you have to put another loader in, and then you have to space things out. You have another carriage behind, and that carries the other item, or you put the item on another level. You have to factor that in as well. It's not been too much of a problem so far. I could see how it could be on the harder version of the game, when the hard version of the game, remember, has much more complicated shapes coming out. So what do we want to do this? We want to deliver this over here, don't we? We want to deliver it down here. So what we can do is just get rid of these like this. We won't do it all the way in. We won't send it all the way into the to the vortex, the void at the end. Instead, we'll have a station here, yeah, and we'll run our train. We won't do that. We'll run our train track down to about here. Yeah, we'll have another stop point here, going the right way. We'll have an unloader going that way, like that. Okay, here comes the train. It's got nothing in it, but it would unload it here and chuck it out at the end. Again, if we had more than one shape coming out on different carriages, we'd have another one here running together. But this, once this is filled up, which is obviously slow, we'll watch this in a minute, it will grab a package. Let's wait for that to happen, and then you can see that going through. Oh, are we going to be in time? We're going to miss it. Oh, here it comes. It's missed it. Don't worry, the train will be back in a minute. The trains are pretty fast. I've already upgraded them once as well. Here it is. Picks up the package. And right now, of course, nothing is coming out of here. Whoosh! Here they come! Spinning out the little thing here and falling through, and then they'll get delivered to the end. Yeah, easy peasy. We don't actually need to do that right now because we've got enough reds. We need to make a red and a green together. Now, right now, the production is pretty bad. I've tried to fix it. I think I broke it partly by stopping one of the outputs. So I'm splitting objects up into smaller pieces. Excuse me. I just basically throwing these ones in the trash. Otherwise, the whole system jams up. This is now moving again. I hope I've fixed it. What we'll do, we won't worry about that for now. We'll come back to that in a moment. So essentially what we hear is we need some more of these, don't we? We need some more. Now we could use this production here. Are there any? Oh, look at that. That's just lying around there. That looks like, oh, that could be useful. We could do that. However, we can't. Because at the moment, we don't have a way of easily painting individual quadrants. We might later, but we don't yet. We'll see how easy the game makes it on us at the moment. So that is actually not useful to us at all. Unless we broke it into individual pieces, which we could do, that wouldn't be the worst. And then I might do that off screen and feed that into here. But in a similar way, we can't easily chop it in two to have the corner pieces. The splitter will only cut along this way or this way into halves. So we're not actually, that's not actually helping us. There's lots of these little bits lying around. I think what we'll do for now, we'll keep it simple. What we'll do is we'll take some of our output of the red. What do you want to call those? What do you want to call those little things there? I don't know. Where are they gone? I've lost them. I've lost them. These little doodahs here. I don't know. My imagination is not up to scratch at the moment. What we can do is we can take some of these and we could just pipe some off and then paint them green and then join the two things together. But instead of doing that, let's have some fun with trains instead, yeah? So what we can do instead is we can say, well, we don't actually need to deliver the greens to the reds to the end anymore, do we? So it doesn't matter if we take them back off again at some point over here. And we've got some green paint around here. Why don't we put in a new stop over here? Shape unloader. Yeah, we'll unload here instead. We need a stop sign to make the train stop, obviously. And we're taking off the first carriage. So we're up with the red ones we've loaded on. We're unloading them again onto here. And what we can do is, this one here, we can take off 50% of them, like that, and we can put in a painting system. So in the blueprint library, we have our basic single color painternator, which is here. Now if I look at the colors from there, there's the pipes coming in. So we're going to take 50% of those shapes, those red ones there, and then we're going to add some colour to them. Now the green is over here. Now I'm using trains to carry green paint in as well, yeah? And we usually get quite a lot of green paint. What I tend to do is, in a lot of places I'll use at this I'm just unloading them here. What I sometimes do is I have a little depot. So I can now build these tanks, if I can show you one. There should be one around here somewhere. Yeah, stocks of green paint from here, and then I feed them out from there as I need them. We could do that. We could just take some off of this way. So in fact, we could take some off of here, or we could do, you know what we could do? We could add. Let's demonstrate the adding more carriages. Add another carriage, a fluid wagon. Yeah. On there. Now we need, at this point here, we've only got space for 2. That wagon's going to be out at the end. What we can do is we can take out the stop sign, put the stop sign there instead, put a liquid loader. I know, train. Calm down. It's okay. You're all right. Don't panic. Okay, we've now got 3 liquid loaders from here. Oh, I've gone too far with that one. We need another one. We need another one from there. Let's take a pipe off there. Stop sign's in the wrong place. Stop sign needs to be where the train is going to be. Like that. Okay. Come back, train. Where are you? Paint is building up here. So now this will carry off at 3 different carriages, and that means we need another stop. We've got a stop here for the first 2 carriages, and we're going to put a new stop in here, and we want the unloader for the 3rd carriage only. 1, 2, 3. Like that. So that will only empty ink from the paint from the 3rd carriage, and the one will come off from there. So I haven't played with that one yet, by the way. I haven't played with this yet. Rail routing. Colour. Oh, I see colours. That's where the colours come in. Well, I'll worry about that later. I've not needed to get that complicated for now. Here comes the first lot of paint from there. And, of course, that's going to go into here. Like that. No, not that one. Here we go. And we should now have these all becoming green. We've got some delivered already. There we go, they're coming through. These ones are now going green, and then we need to stack them on top of each other to make this. I made a new stackinator. I was frustrated in how the stackinators are working, so I've reduced them into... I had doubles before, and I had 2 next to each other and like 3, and it didn't really work very well with the spacing. So what I've to simplify supply and demand, I'm back to making singles, but they're fairly compact. So you've got 2 inputs. You've got an input here, and an input here, and then a single output. Now, right now, though, they're the wrong orientation. One of this lot needs to be turned. This is probably taking longer to produce this than this. So why don't we put the rotator on this side? Yeah, and we can just feed some out from here. Also, I used to get occasional problems where I had things coming out on and off at different heights. So, for example, the painternator only uses inputs and outputs at base level. Some of the stackinators were using multiple height. Some things were coming into the block at a higher level, and it just caused confusion. I mean, I had to faff around with them a bit more every time, and I don't want to faff around with them. I just want to, get on with stuff all the time. These can all be the same as long as they get rotated by 90 degrees. That is fine. There we go. So these now come onto here. There we go. So they should all come in together. This is also where you have to be careful with the trains, because you know early on you've seen me assemble some of these things, and occasionally something goes wrong and a couple of the shapes are a bit wacky and not the right shape. These are all correct, aren't they? Lovely. Look at that. Some of the shapes come out wrong, and that's okay because they go into the vortex. No one cares about it. However, if you're feeding stuff onto a train, then you've got a possible problem, because remember the rule that you can only have one sort of object in each section. So if you've got a couple of misfits in there, they're just going to sit there. Yeah, they're probably be very many of them, so they will never quite fill up. They never quite clear out. So you've got to make sure that you're getting your outputs correct, or you're going to have a problem later on. Also, by the way, why don't we use the train again? Over here, we can output. We can just feed this to the belt here, or we could use the train yet again. Yeah. Now we need to have a second carriage, because of course this object is different from. Well, actually, we don't. Yeah, we do. We do have to have a second object, because if we get to a point where we're making, for some reason, a lot of these objects here, the red one here, then the old umbrella logo, it's not quite the umbrella logo, but the umbrella logo here might not be able to load because there's a residue of the original 2 red pieces stuck in there. So let's not screw around. Let's have a second package from there, yeah, a second carriage. So we'll put a stop in. Go to trains. Put a stop in there, like that. Oh, actually, it's a bit too. Let's put it there. Train like that. And we want the loader to be in the second position. Yeah. Like that. So there you go. Umbrella logo now loads into here. We want to put a second carriage in down here. Second wagon, rather. It's not a carriage, there's no people in there. It's just goods, mate. It's goods being carried. Yeah, so now, the fact that this train will not, the wagon will hang over there, it doesn't matter. It will still load that one from there, and it comes around here. It will unload any reds it's got in there, which it hasn't at the moment, and it will come along to here, and when these build up, it will load those into there. And then the last point is we need to unload them again. So we need another unloader. We need an unloader. Oh, it doesn't like overlaying some of these things. In theory, you should be able to place objects, force objects to replace another one by holding shift. It doesn't always work, which is fine. I'm not going to worry about that. Okay. Oh, that is something wrong there. It's an unloader. There we go. The lines break. The little red line breaks for the red train if it isn't done properly. There we go. That should now unload. There. That's it. That's how I'm using trains. Okay. It's maybe not the best way to do it yet, but it's okay. It seems to be doing okay. The problem I've got here is more about I'm just not making enough of these things. This is going to go quite slowly. We haven't got any of these arrive yet, but hopefully we will in a minute. What I need to do is fix this. What do you want to call it? I don't know. This mess over here, and then once I fix this mess, it should be. What am I even doing here? That's something else entirely. Might be linked to this, I'm not sure. This is nearly finished. I need to fix this mess over here. But that's the idea of how we're using the shapes. So there you go. That's me using trains properly. It's an apology. It's a video apology for my last video. Every video should be like that, actually. When I look back at the editing and I go, why did I do that? What am I talking about? That's just wrong. What are you doing? It must be like your experience, you know? I must be getting a dose of what happens to you when you watch one of my terrible videos. Just sit there repeatedly banging your head on whatever flat surface you have nearby. Don't do it on your phone, though. You'll just damage your phone. Don't do that. Don't hurt yourself or the phone. Right. I'm going to fix this. How am I doing for time here? You know what? It's about 20 minutes. A little bit more than 20 minutes. That's not bad, is it, eh? That's a bit efficient, more efficient than normal. There you go. I didn't get all the way through the milestones, but I think I demonstrated a bit more about how trains work. Let's finish the video with actually something being delivered. Yeah? Is there one over there? No. Hopefully, how quick is this building up? It's getting there. Oh, there's a package there, look. Okay, let's wait for that to come through, and we'll consider that a win. Yeah? Or rather, we won't consider it a win, because I've had this before where it doesn't want to load for some reason. It's being funny about it. Let me see if I can fix this. I had this last night. I fiddled around for about an hour to get this darn thing to work. Oh, okay. Whatever happened there, I don't know. I might have actually been wrong. I think maybe what happened, I might have been wrong over here. So what I did to fix this, I respawned the train partly by deleting it and going back in it, which you can do anyway. You can do it manually. You can do a respawn. But also, what I did is I deleted it partly. You remember how one of the the train was partly hanging over the edge? The last wagon was hanging over the edge because the track started further back, if you see what I mean. I said that wouldn't be a problem. I think maybe it was actually a problem. So I rebuilt the station here, and that seemed to have fixed it. Let's just see. It's unloading from there. There we go. But I'm not, trains a little bit glitchy possibly. I don't know. Had some problems before, but it seems to be sorting itself out. Yeah, there we go. And then from this one, I will go to this one, which is fine because I haven't built this yet. I can build this one from here. Where was I building that? I don't know. That's a fairly easy one to do, and then stick the two things together. And again, I'll find out where they're being delivered. Where is that one? Where is that object? It can't be that far away. I should be able to see it coming into here. There we go. It's into there. It's from here. It's being built on the other side of the world. Oh my god, look at these, see? That would screw up a train. I don't know what's going on with that there. Some sort of problem. Oh, I bet it's a height thing. I bet some of these are trying to feed in from the upper level. Yeah, they are. See, these are feeding out at the upper level. And this only takes the lower level feed from here. I'll fix all that. And then, go from there. So there you go. Trains done properly. that was useful for you. I don't think I'll show you the rest of the milestones from here. I don't think that's particularly necessarily enjoyable doing that. I'll show you the pin pusher when it comes out. What about tasks? Any interesting tasks here? Not really. Oh, this will be the pin pusher. That seems kind of fun. I think I'll be on the pin pusher when it's locked on there. Yeah, okay. Bring it back for the pin pusher. What else we can do? And I'll... and if anything else pops up interesting along the way, I'll tell you about that. But I'm not going to show you every blow by blow because you go out of your mind with boredom. Anyway, take care of yourself. Thanks for watching. See you again next time.